Hey, Brain Police. Good morning. Hope it's going well. I'm probably one of those scientism people, and I just wanted to. I'm making this reply in part to defend it, but also because I think there may be things in it that you may find interesting. Perhaps it is just the method of these particular scientism people that is causing it to, well, how to put it, that is making it look like they're cheating themselves. So first, scientific method. I really like the scientific method. I like the idea of theory. I like the idea of an experiment which is almost universally consistent within its conditions, that is for something which can be applied within those limited conditions. Um, that creates very reliable information, and I think that is the utility of information is its reliability. If you had if someone were saying something that turned out to only be, have accuracy for what it describes only 50% of the time, then, uh, why would a person even bother to say it? And I would actually say that if a person said something that was only correct or only accurate or led to accurate outcomes, uh, 30% of the time, I would say that that is actually disinformation. A person is spending more time failing because of this information, which I would conclude is inaccurate, unless, of course, the application of that information has been incorrect. But so that's why I like the scientific method for deriving relevant information. Um, I can mention a few things about deductive or especially rational philosophy that I dislike. I dislike in rational philosophy the concept of truth because to me, it ignores that uh, the entire thing that a person is being said is actually being induced from observation by a person. And it's very true or very accurate that many times these things have been observed over and over and over and over and are very accurate. In fact, I would say that most things which deductive rationalists call true, I think would meet the criteria of theory in uh, in the scientific method. Uh, but that even mathematics, I know that a lot of people who are into rational philosophy really like citing mathematics, that 2 plus 2 equal 4. But I believe that mathematics has its reliability in that it is based in observation. Someone someone started realizing that within the number tags uh, that they could perform games with the number tags, which were which were accurate to real world results. But again, I think observation is what led to, or is what makes mathematics so credible. If you could not if you could not back up your mathematical ideas with observable utility, if it was not consistent with reality, uh, quote unquote reality, if it was not consistent with what was observed, obviously it wouldn't have very much utility and it would not be in high regard. So I think that's part of the whole thing with math. But uh, as far as getting into what uh, what I like, you know, relevant information. I think the purpose of information, the utility of information, is in its relevance, is in its ability to assist a person in achieving a task, in 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 deriving new information, which is also accurate because it's being based on accurate presumptions also. And so I think that that is the basis for information is its utility, and that deductive rationality is useful insofar in that the information which it generates is accurate. So I'm sure by now you can guess I'm in the philosophical camp. I would be considered a materialist. Um, let me see. And this is something that I think is really good when you take the truth notion out of information. When you take true out of information and instead you just have utility, then you can have this nice little dynamic of, well, okay, is there free will or is there neurological determinism? And if you are talking about the experience of existing, then free will has relevance. It has utility in that. Even neurologically, we know that by the experience of making judgments about our experiences, we craft our future behavior. Ergo, the idea of free will is used in crafting future behavior, even though how it affects current behavior may be limited. And for neurobiology, especially neurologists and that field of study, it becomes much more useful to consider the human brain as a machine, and that everything is deterministic, that behaviors are a result of input, and that there is no magic to it, and that there is no choice to it, but that choice is actually just something that happens to be I guess you would call it an incidental result of the process going on, and that's useful. It's relevant to both those fields. So I think that's that's something kind of beautiful that can happen when you remove the assumption of truth and start thinking about, well, what's relevant and what's not relevant. My favorite, and this is pretty much all just me, so if it doesn't sound very well argued, that's why. But my favorite is if you were to take something like, well, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, and it, if you really want to get super cause and effect about it, and it never affects anything, so it will never matter at all to anyone ever. The question then comes up: is it even relevant if it does or doesn't make a sound or have an effect, or crush any bugs when it falls or anything else like that? And my favorite of that is the classic rational philosophical question: is reality real? Is it actual, or is it just a very elaborate illusion? And my answer to that is, unless there is a test which can be performed to discredit the accuracy of reality? No. Well, I'm not. It's not coming out correctly, but basically a test which determines if there is something beyond reality. If there can be no test of that, then I don't see the relevance in bothering to question something which cannot have any evidence brought against it. That's it. Thanks. Bye.